Ruining Christmas and being upset. The only gifts I got from my family were joke gifts. Some background: my family likes to play pranks with Christmas and birthday gifts. It's nothing new. I, F21, as well as my 5 siblings, from 29 to 37 years old, have all been pranked on our birthdays and on Christmas, and usually it's 1 or 2 gifts. This Christmas though, I was the only person to get all joke gifts. For example, I unwrapped a MacBook from my brother, but when I opened it, it was just some chocolate, which I don't eat, so I gave it away, and the MacBook was actually given to my sister inside a bag she wanted. Another gift was what I thought was a book I put on my Christmas list, was actually just the book cover put on a dictionary. When I asked my mom about the book, she told me she gave it to my sister-in-law. This went on with each present my siblings or parents had given me. AirPods was just a charger block adapter. Gift cards were used and had $0 balance, a card with Monopoly money, and so on, totaling to about 12 joke gifts. I realized I went out of my way to get everyone something they wanted or they'd like, didn't get anything. At this point I was bummed, so I went to the living room to watch TV with my boyfriend. At dinner they were all talking about how much they loved their gifts, and when my dad asked why I hadn't said anything about mine, I said there wasn't much to say. Everyone but my boyfriend laughed, and my mom said it was no big deal as everyone else also got some joke gifts. I told her every gift I got was a joke gifts and that the ones they got was also followed by the real one. My dad told me I needed to relax as I'm making a big deal about it, and I'd have next Christmas to get the stuff on my list. Not wanting to go back and forth, I told my boyfriend I wanted to leave and we can spend the rest of Christmas break with his family, then go home. My family got mad and told me not to go and to just stay because it wasn't serious. I left and put my phone on Do Not Disturb during the drive, and by the time we got to BF's parents' house, I had several missed calls and texts from them calling me names like ungrateful, sensitive, and childish. They said I ruined Christmas and made my parents upset cause I left. The next day, I exchanged and opened gifts with my boyfriend and his family, and one of the gifts I had gotten was the book I wanted, the book my mom pretended to gift me. I posted it on my Instagram story, and not even 0 minutes after posting it, my sister sent a screenshot of my story to the family group chat, and they basically got mad at me for leaving and telling me I ruined Christmas over some presents. They told me I owe everyone, especially my parents, an apology because my mom spent New Year's sad because of my actions. Now I just want an outside party to tell me if I'm TA here. Am I in the wrong for being upset about the gifts and for leaving? After reading their messages and sitting on this for a few days, I'm now feeling like maybe I was upset over nothing and need to apologize to them.
Comment 1. NTA: open a group chat with them all, list every crappy prank gift you got, ask them if they'd honestly be happy if that was all they got as they watched everyone else open actual lovely, thoughtful gifts, then immediately leave the chat. I'm glad you left. I wouldn't return next year. They might promise not to do it again, then do it again to teach you a lesson in humility or some other BS that's code for being cruel to you, then blaming you for your reaction. But if you do, bring fabulous presents for yourself instead and refuse to open anything from anyone else. Comment 2, NTA. Alone the statement you can still get the presents you want next Christmas should be reason enough for you to leave. Especially after they bought the gifts you wanted and just gave them to other people. Tell them, they have to apologize, or you see where you stand in this family, as just a joke below everyone else, or this was the last holiday with gift exchange where you ever be with them. Good that your boyfriend's family still showed that they care about you. Comment 3. NTA: your present this year was finding out your parents/family are trash, abusive and will never change. My family used to make me cry and say stuff like, "What's wrong with you? Can't you take a joke? You're too sensitive," and would use me to make others laugh. It hurts and doesn't go away. Don't give them any more chances to do it again. They are too old for this shit. Giving my cousins exactly what they gave me? So, I've, teenage F, been close with my 2 cousins, 23F and 26F, for as long as I can remember. Our moms are really good about keeping our families close, and they're the only cousins I ever see because family bonds are not strong on my dad's side. Recently, my two cousins have both gotten engaged and the older one is now married. Their respective fiancé and husband join our families for Christmas. Last year, when Christmas rolled around, I was super excited to shop for gifts for my cousins and their sig others. I picked out thoughtful, $25 plus gifts for each of them, spent my own, saved money, I do not have a job because I'm not old enough for most of them yet, and hand-wrapped all of their gifts. I was fine with this financial blow because I genuinely enjoy gift giving and I love my cousins and their significant others. When I opened their gift to me, I was kind of shocked. All four of them each pitched in a whopping $6.25 for a $25 Amazon gift card as my combined Christmas/birthday gift from all of them. I bit back my surprise, despite being hurt that our relationship was diminished to $6.25 from each of them for my two most important holidays. They all loved each of their thoughtful gifts. Keep in mind this was the second year they spent money separate from their parents to give gifts, and I'm already doing it at a much younger age than when they started. Now, here's where I'm the asshole. Christmas came by again and I carefully wrapped $6.25 and put it under the tree for each of them. They unwrapped it and shared a glance. My oldest cousin looked at me and laughed as if there was some mistake. $6.25? She asked. Yes. I figured it was appropriate and I didn't want you to go feeling all upstaged like you did last year, I said while smiling a little too hard. My mother knew of my plan so she expected it, but the rest of the family erupted in outrage. I was told by my aunt and uncle that I was disrespectful, cruel, and materialistic. I get what they're saying and I understand that gift giving is a spirit and not a transaction, but I couldn't help feeling extremely disappointed that my cousins and their sig others thought their gift to me was appropriate given the time and effort I took with mine. They're both new families so of course money is on the tighter side, but my cousins came wearing $300 shoes and the newest phones and a PS5 and Stanley Cups, so I just wish a little bit of that could have been directed at me given how close we were. So am I the a-hole for humiliating them? My reaction was petty and rude, but was it fitting and deserved? Comment 1. I also think if someone is offended for you embarrassing them with something like this, then it was obvious they should be embarrassed, so all you did was hold a mirror to them. I do think you should have just told them how disappointed you were and hope much effort you put in rather than doing this. But as they say, actions speak louder than words, and they definitely heard that. Comment 2. I don't love this verdict, but reluctantly, ESH. Yes, it hurts that you put a lot of effort and money into their gifts and they put less into yours, but I think the right thing to do would simply have been to adjust your expectations. A tedious part of Christmas is establishing a mutual level of gifts with people where you give and get around the same value. I think the right thing to do would have been to simply get them cheaper items, around the $5 to $6 range, and move on. Giving them the exact value of their gift in cash makes you seem a bit too transactional, much as I can understand the temptation. Comment 3. YTA. Yes, this was a bit petty, especially your reaction to their reaction. Honestly, as a kid I just would not give anything, that is the rule in our family. I get how you feel. I have several nieces and nephews and I end up spending over $100 for the kids in each family and all I get is a $10, $15 present from my siblings. And they put zero thought into it. Next year just don't get them anything and say that you're a kid and can't afford it. If I don't attend my friend's bridal shower after she outed me as a bridesmaid and disinvited me from her wedding, but still wants to be friends. Bride is getting married in May and asked me to be her bridesmaid over the summer. I was ecstatic and of course said yes. Background. I dated one of the groomsmen, who also happens to be officiating the wedding, seriously for 5 years. We split amicably back in February due to me traveling for work, us struggling with long distance, and simply growing apart. He and I had never ever fought, like really fought, through the entire relationship and breakup. We see each other quite often because we share the same friends and a dog that we both love and agreed to co-parent. When we see each other, we simply catch up like friends and it's never been an issue. Until November. We got into an argument. A lot of pent-up feelings came up, him expressing hurt about me leaving, me being frustrated that he never conveyed those feelings to me or asked me to stay, that turned into anger toward one another. A couple days later we made up and hugged it out. And this all happened in private BTW, but OFC we talked to our friends about it so they knew. So bride has understandably been having a lot of anxiety about us at the wedding and worried something between us will come up. She has, however, not talked to me at all about it. I tried talking to her while the fight was going on but was pretty much met with silence. My other girlfriends were very supportive and gave me advice, despite their SOs also being friends with my ex. It was a tricky situation because we are all friends, but I wasn't asking anyone to take sides, just really needed a friend in that moment and didn't get that from her. So instead of talking to me and just asking where 10 and 1 stand, she's nixed me from the bridal party and disinvited me from the wedding altogether. And ended it with "I love you, you're one of my closest friends, I just have to think about me and my wedding right now." I'm trying to be understanding that she has wedding brain, she has anxiety, and she has every right to be stressed about me and ex together, but I can't help feeling so hurt that she doesn't trust me as a friend to be 100% there for her on her wedding day. Is it really terrible of me not to go to her shower? Like, I just really don't want to spend money on a gift after this Lamau. Especially when I feel like I've already put a lot into this friendship that I'm not getting back out. I just watched their obnoxious 1-year-old German Shepherd, who's given me scars BTW, for 2 weeks while they were abroad for no payment because I am a good friend like that, so someone stop me from sending a Venmo request right now. Comment 1. NTA and I'm struggling to understand why you think you would be your friend, and him, using the term loosely, made a decision to cut you out of her wedding and disinvite you altogether, but you still feel obligated to get her a gift? She clearly sees your relationship very differently than you do, and it's time to protect yourself and not try and cater to her. You owe her nothing, and I really would recommend taking space from her. Comment 2. NTA. First, inviting someone to a bridal shower and not the wedding is hella tacky emo. So to me that is your out. You uninvited me to the wedding, why would I go to your shower? That's just a more intimate wedding event. But I'd call her on the "you are one of my closest friends" because she sure isn't acting like it. Maybe I can see asking you to step down as a bridesmaid but you inviting to the wedding? That's friendship ending level behavior. And I know this is secondary, but consider how this plays out with your friend group. I fear you will end up being outed if you don't control the narrative. So 100% don't just ghost the bridal shower. Talk to your friends about this fallout as well. They may be all "oh, that's her choice and you know how she is," in which case you know how this goes with the rest of them. Good luck. Comment 3. NTA. Tell her you value your friendship and her opinion and therefore have decided to let her completely focus on her wedding by not attending any wedding-related events. As for the dog thing, I'd let that go but never do it again. Cooking food for my female friend? So I've been dating my GF, 26F, for a year. Things have been going well. I have a friend Ria, 26F, been friends since college. Ria is a vegetarian. She has never tried it growing up and doesn't want to. And she's not a witch about it, as my girl says. She has no problem with someone eating it beside her or SMN. She just doesn't eat it. Onto the topic, I love cooking and I occasionally invite our friends over for dinner. Whenever I host dinner, Ria always checks in with me if I'm gonna be cooking something vegetarian or should she just bring something. I always do as I like it too. I'll admit, sometimes when it's not on the menu, I still do because I don't want someone to feel left out, and as a host it's my responsibility. This Thanksgiving, a friend hosted dinner and Ria brought a dish that everyone liked and the host said she didn't have to as she cooked for her as well. My girlfriend said that she never brought a dish over at my place. Ria told her that I already do my best to accommodate. Well, this pissed my girlfriend off and she left the table. I went after her. She started screaming about how I never told her. Not true, I have mentioned this multiple times, basically made everyone uncomfortable, and Ria left after saying she was sorry if her eating habits were causing trouble. When we went back to the table, the mood was sour, and when we were leaving, my friends got me alone and told me how it's my girl's fault for ruining the dinner. I agree, whatever the issue was, could have been discussed in private. I did try to talk about it with her again, but she said she's good and doesn't want to talk about it anymore. I'm hosting a dinner again as a friend of ours is coming back from abroad. My GF said there would be no vegetarian food this time, as she doesn't want to see me prioritizing some other girl over her again. I again tried to talk about this and she says she can't believe I'm cooking a whole new dish for some girl and how it's disrespectful to her. I told her she's a friend and everyone wants her here. This turned into screaming again that ended with her saying she knows I'm cheating on her with Ria and calling her names. I've tried to comfort her on this, have tried to talk if something else has happened that makes her feel this way, but I got nothing more than "you're not cooking for her," end of topic. I don't understand. I've done nothing to show that I have any interest in my friend. There's no history between us if anyone's wondering. I host these dinners usually once a month and that's the only time she's over. We don't really hang out with just the two of us and she's never done anything that'll make my girlfriend uncomfortable or I'd have shut it down myself. That Thanksgiving dinner was the first time this was brought up. I need an actual answer from her other than "I don't want you to." So,